After years of struggle, I finally benched 3 plates. This is going to be the video I wish I'd watched years ago when I was stuck around 225. I will condense everything I've learned from those dreadful times into an informative video for you guys. I know firsthand how much it sucks to plateau and not be able to make any progress. First, I'll explain whether or not 315 is even possible for you. I'll show you my 4 best tips, a sample program, and then give you an idea as to how long it should probably take.
Nothing is impossible!
A 315 bench is really impressive when you compare to the average gym goer, but it's kind of standard in the strength world. If you go to your nearest powerlifting gym, you'll meet lots of guys who've done it. But if you're struggling like me, you might be doubting whether you have the genetics to pull it off. It's going to be hard, no doubt, but for most of you, it isn't impossible. I know I'm going to get some heat for this opinion, but I don't care. If you're a normal, healthy man who begins lifting weights in his 20s or 30s, you probably have the potential to bench 3 plates. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. The vast majority of people never come close, but you do have the potential inside of you somewhere. Even if you have injuries or start lifting later in life, you can still get super strong if that's what you desire. There are many people who lift in their 40s, some even older, and they're still able to put up a 3-piece and a soda. Granted, it's very rare, but not impossible. The biggest bottleneck for the average guy isn't their physical genetics. That's not what's holding them back. It's their mental attitude. If you believe in your heart you can do it, and you keep working towards it, it almost becomes inevitable. If you care enough to watch this video, you're probably going to bench 315 one day, as long as you don't quit.
Let's go! Bring it!
It's fairly easy to predict how much someone can bench just by looking at their physique. Jack dudes will usually put up respectable numbers, even if they don't train for strength. You'll often see skinny guys lifting crazy on leg day, but usually not on the bench press. Bench is very correlated with your upper body muscularity. Your chest, triceps, and front delts must get big and voluptuous if you want to bench 315. Unless you're extremely gifted, there's no way you're going to be hitting that weight with a bird chest. I had to overdevelop my physique to get to 315. When I told people I benched 3 plates for the first time, they were surprised. Like, you haven't done it yet? By the time you get to 315, you'll have built the majority of all your muscle in those areas. In 2023, I was focused entirely on bodybuilding. I did 0 bench press. I literally didn't care. When I decided to test my max, I got an all-time PR of 275. It felt rusty, my form was shit, but I still PR'd just because I had more muscle. That's not the most efficient way. Obviously, if you want to get better at bench, do lots of bench. I'm just saying this to illustrate that putting on lots of muscle will prevent future plateaus and make progress smoother. Start with your basic strength work, but once you're done that, go crazy on the other exercises. In order to bench 315, you must build your muscular base.
You're not putting in the work. You have to do more.
The higher your goals, the less lazy you can afford to be. 225 is a good bench, but it's not really anything crazy. 315 is a different beast. In order to do that, I had to dot my I's and cross my T's. I had to do the hard things in order to achieve that level of strength. By hard things, I mean doing difficult exercise variations that expose my weak points and force me to build no-nonsense strength. These exercises are more difficult than the regular bench press. Getting strong at them will carry over and make the bench feel easy. Here's a list for you. Pause bench. I'm talking a true fucking pause. You go down, you count 1 banana, 2 banana, boom! I don't like going down for a split second and going right away. When you come to the bottom, don't rest. I want you to barely be touching your chest. Keep the tension on your muscles. Don't let the bar sink into you. The whole point of a pause bench is to stay tight and build that pure explosive power from the bottom. The next variation I like is close grip. I want you to bring your hands much closer than your regular grip, about shoulder width apart. It should be a significant increase to the range of motion. It should feel like you're moving the bar double. This is good. You get more elbow bend in the bottom, so it fries your triceps. The sticking point is also higher up, so you can really learn how to push through reps. I'm going to call this next exercise the almost guillotine press. The reason it's almost is because you aren't bringing the bar to your neck, but you are touching much higher on your chest. Go down with a controlled eccentric, keep your elbows flared on the way down and up. Start with a light weight and progress slowly. If you do this correctly, you will feel the craziest pec stimulus, and the regular bench will feel easy in comparison. You should feel your chest fibers ripping apart as you hold the weight in that position. Dumbbell presses, dips, and push-ups with a big range of motion are very useful. Go deep to get a better stimulus. Increasing these lifts will carry over. I did nothing but these 3 exercises for nearly a year, and my first day back in the gym, I PR'd. Take your isolation work seriously. I'm going to go more in depth on this in my next video, but too many people phone in these movements. They go for the pump, they don't really push it. I want you to track your progress, even with the small lifts like tricep isolations and chest flies. You should be aiming to get stronger over time. Don't be lazy. This is how you develop weaknesses. This is how you end up plateaued. These isolations will round out your physique. The majority of your work should be compound movements, but you still need to push the isolations to get the strongest bench possible. When I got a 2-plate bench, there wasn't that much variation in my program. But to go from 2 plates to 3, not only was I doing regular bench press, I was pushing myself in these difficult variations. Regular bench should be the easiest part of your program. If you're doing deep presses, close grip, honest pauses, then the regular bench is going to feel like an easy partial. It's like taking off a weighted vest and feeling like you're so much faster. Get strong at the hard shit, and the regular bench becomes easy in comparison.
They've swapped world records this year at the World Classic.
Yeah.
And Hubbard came out.
Many of the videos that talk about increasing your bench, they're focused on the minutia. This cue increased my leg drive. This one helped me stay more tight. This one optimized my bar path. You aren't benching as much as you want because you just aren't big and strong enough to do it. These form fixes will definitely help you add a little bit of weight to the bar. I'm not denying that, but it's not going to make or break you when it comes to hitting 3 plates. Stop looking for a silver bullet that's going to somehow double your strength. You're going to have to embrace the slow grind, and that's okay. One of the major side effects from this quick fix mindset is program hopping. This happens when you frequently switch routines, hoping one of them will break your plateau or give you fast progress. The routine you choose doesn't matter as much as you think it does. As long as it includes the bench press with a reasonable progression and a deload, you're probably good. There's 1,000 different programs that can get you to 315. For most people, the limiting factors are going to be the things I talked about. They don't have as much muscle as they need, and they aren't doing difficult variations that will carry over. Here are some minor adjustments which will actually make a difference. First of all, learn how to fail safely. I love doing the roll of shame, but you can also bench with safety pins or get a trusted spotter that doesn't touch the bar. If you're a little scared to push yourself, I guarantee you won't make the best progress. The roll of shame is really easy once you get the hang of it. Believe it or not, I'm going to recommend you practice with a lighter weight and get used to keeping your abs tight as you roll it down. Don't rest the bar on your hip bone, but rather a little bit lower on your hip crease. These days, I'm never ever scared to go to failure on the bench press, even when I'm all alone. Use a yoga mat or resistance band so you can stay more tight. Even a tiny slip can throw off your whole set. Chalk your hands. You might think this only helps for back movements and deadlifts, but you'd be surprised. You'll be able to feel more connected and have a tighter grip on the bar. Join a powerlifting gym or lift with people that are stronger than you. I can't really do this in my life right now, but if I started going to a powerlifting gym where people are putting up 350, 400, my standards would increase and my progress would too. You knew this was coming. You could follow every tip in this video. You could have Julius Maddox as your coach, and you still might never bench 315 if you don't get your diet in check. If you are overweight, for sure, lose some fat. Get between 10 to 15%. But after that, slowly start gaining. There is a strong correlation between your body weight and your bench, more than other lifts. By bulking, you're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. The calorie surplus is allowing you to build muscle faster, and the weight gain in and of itself is going to increase your bench no matter what. A bigger back and chest cuts the range of motion, improving your leverages. Your elbows are thicker, your shoulders are thicker. There's more cushion for the pushing. Bulking does not mean eat everything in sight. It doesn't mean you have to get sloppy. It doesn't even mean you lose your abs. All you have to do is eat in a slight calorie surplus and put on a little bit of weight. If you're a strength athlete confined to a weight class and your meet's coming up, okay, bulking isn't really an option for you. But everyone else in pursuit of a 315 bench can and should gain weight to get there faster. If I had maintained at 165 and tried to grind for 3 plates that way, I'm confident I never would have got there. Or if I did, it would have taken me like 20 years. When you don't bulk, you seriously handicap your strength and size gains. Ask me how I know. The program I'm going to share will help you get to 315. It focuses on increasing your bench press as well as your overall pressing power. It is not a powerlifting style program. It's just 2 push days, but you can add some back and biceps if you want to make it an upper body workout. The first exercise is of course the bench press. We'll use a 9-week progression where we start light and finish heavy. I got this from Bald Omni-Man and it worked well for me. The first 3 weeks you're doing 3 sets of 8. The next weeks are 3 sets of 5. And the last 3 weeks are 3 by 3. At the end of the 9 weeks, you take a deload, and the week after, you max out. I like to max out, and that same workout, start the progression all over. That way, the entire training cycle takes exactly 10 weeks. After that, we have standing overhead press. It's a great general strength builder, and it will have carryover to the bench. Next is either dumbbell bench, weighted push-ups, or weighted dips. And that's in order of specificity. So if you want the most carryover, go with dumbbell bench. But honestly, you can't go wrong. All these exercises will get you stronger. Finish off with skull crushers. If you're the type of person that gets elbow pain from these, warm up with some banded pushdowns. Use the strict form where you go to your forehead versus the more loose form where you go behind you. I want you to bias the medial and lateral heads of the tricep because it will carry over more to bench. Day 2 of the program starts with your choice, pause bench or close grip for sets of 4 to 6. Next, move on to shoulder pressing using the dumbbells or a machine for sets of 6 to 10. I like to go really low on these because I feel it more in my shoulders. After that, go with the incline bench, the Smith machine bench, or the almost guillotine press for sets of 6 to 10. This is good pressing volume. After a few weeks of getting used to the exercise, make sure you're pushing it close to failure. Don't worry so much about weight, just try to feel it in your chest as much as possible. Finish off with tricep pushdowns. Use the straight bar or the V bar for sets of 8 to 12. Get a big range of motion and keep them as strict as possible. Am I saying this is the best program ever? No, but it will give you lots of general pressing strength. You'll probably increase your 1 rep max 5 to 15 pounds every 10 weeks. Just remember, it's better to start easier than it is to start too hard and failing reps all the time. If I knew what I know now, it wouldn't have taken me 8 years to bench 3 plates. But it begs the question, how long should it take for the average lifter? I'm going to give you a big range. If you start training as a grown man in his 20s or 30s, it should take you anywhere from 2 to 6 years. Any shorter than 2 years and you're a freak. That's really fast and you don't see it too often. But if it's taking you longer than 6 years like it did for me, that's fine. Just keep grinding, eventually you'll get there. When you do bench 315 for the first time, most men can expect to weigh anywhere from 180 to 220 pounds. If you are able to do it weighing less than 180, you are very, very strong. If you're able to do it weighing less than 160, that's almost double body weight, extremely elite. If you're over 220 when you bench 315, maybe you don't have the best relative strength, but honestly, who cares? You still get to call yourself a 3-plate bencher, and no one can take that away from you. I was 223 the first time I benched 3 plates, and next time I want to do it around 205 or less. If you want crazy motivation, check out my entire journey from 185 to 3 plates, or check out this random video.